Welcome to Splatoon 3, where we have a dab emote, tons of weapons, and a bunch of different abilities you can equip to power up your squishy cephalopod. But what do all these things have in common? They all require a lot of experience points to unlock or collect. While there is no rush to level up and unlock weapons or farm ability chunks, the catalog with all the cool emotes and gear will supposedly change every once in a while. As of making this video, the current catalog is set to expire at the end of November. So what do you do if you got this game on like Thanksgiving or something? It doesn't help that there seems to be catalog exclusive gear like these retro shades, which you can unlock at level 79. They look like my retro glasses from Splatoon 2, and since the retro glasses are gone, these shades are the closest thing I can get to any of my old gear. So I want them now. But to get them, I will have to level up my catalog a lot. So I figured it would be to the benefit of everyone if someone were to figure out the most efficient way to gain experience in the game. And that someone is me. Watch out gamers, I've committed to science. To figure out the best way to level things up, I had to go and measure all the ways you can level things up. So I played 10 games of Turf War, 10 games of Anarchy, and 10 games of Salmon. Yes, Salmon, to see how much experience I gained from each. Then I did some math to figure out the formulas behind those gains for all three of the different things that use experience: your personal level, catalog level, and gear. And as an extra measure, I played 5 more games of each to confirm that the equations I came up with were correct. And they were, so here's what I found. I will start with the methods that work the same for all 3 things that require EXP. For Turf Wars, if you win, you get 1400 experience points, which come from the 3-minute bonus, a 500 ink bonus, and a win bonus. If you lose, you only get 800 experience points, also from the 3-minute bonus and 500 ink bonus. One thing to notice is that the amount of ink you've covered does not matter for your experience point gain. It only matters that you've inked at least 500 points of turf. For Anarchy battles, both series and open, if you win with a knockout, you get 2500 experience points. If you lose by getting knocked out, you will get experience points based on how long the match went. I couldn't get myself to throw a match, not even for science, so I don't have too much data on this, but it looks like you get 100 experience points per minute of gameplay. So if you get knocked out in the first minute, you get nothing, and if your team did manage to score some points, you should be getting some experience based on the progress times 5. If you lost but did not get knocked out, you will get 500 experience points for having a full 5-minute match, plus any progress you made times 5. As an example, I played some Clan Blitz, we were losing but managed to score 20 points, so I got 600 experience points for that match. If you win, you get 1500 for winning, 500 for playing a full 5-minute match, and a bonus based on how much progress you made times 5. So basically 2000 experience for winning overall, and some extra experience for how many points you scored, up to 495. The experience you gain from these games will always go into all 3 outlets. For example, take the 600 points I gained from that lost Clan Blitz game. I got 600 EXP for my personal level, 600 EXP to my catalog level, and 600 EXP to all of my clothing items. Next up are the exclusive ways to gain experience. These only work for one of the things. The Pescatarian wraps that you can buy at the food court will give you either a 50% boost or double the experience gain at the end of battles for 20 matches. But this only works for your personal level. I repeat, this only works for your personal level. It does not help with the catalog levels nor gear levels. Same as with the money-based food options, you can order a Marigolden Garden Greens platter, which will give all of your teammates double the experience points at the end of the match. This big platter does not stack with other big platters, so you cannot just go into Anarchy Open with 4 friends and turbo boost your level into space with a 16-time multiplier to your experience points. Everyone will only get double. The good news is this can stack with the money mound food item, so you and your friends can get double the money and double the experience by playing together. This is for your personal level. Once again, a wonderful reason to play the game with a pal. If you don't have a pal to play with, there's lots of Discord servers, streams, and even an app for the Splatoon community where you can meet other cephalopod enthusiasts and maybe find others to play with. I've linked some resources in the description of the video, so do check them out. Anywho, while at the food court, you could also hit that R button to scroll over to the drinks option where you can grab a juice pouch. I have no clue what these things are, but buying and drinking one will give your gear, and only your gear, 50% more experience after a battle for 20 battles. Your catalog levels and personal levels do not get this boost, and you cannot have an experience boost from food for your personal level and an experience for your clothing items with a drink at the same time. The good news is though that this can stack with the mega foods, so if your friend ordered a garden greens platter, you will still get the 50 experience points more for your clothing items plus the double experience for your personal level. Sadly, your friend will not get the 50 EXP boost for their clothing. These drinks also boost your odds of getting a specific ability when leveling up, but I will save that science for a different video because it's gonna take quite a bit more to research. This brings me to the last way you can gain experience and coincidentally some tickets for the food and drinks. Salmon Run. You can in fact gain experience from doing Salmon Run, but only for your catalog level. Your personal level and gear will not gain any experience from Salmon Run. And even though your catalog level does grow, it does not grow by much. You will get 300 experience points for each wave that you clear during a run. So if you wipe in wave 1, you get nothing. And I have wiped in wave 1 way too many times, so you best bet I'll be making some Salmon Run guides soon. If you clear wave 1 but wipe in wave 2, you will get 300 experience. If you clear wave 2 but wipe in wave 3, you will get 600 experience. And if you clear wave 3, you get 900 experience. For those of you skilled enough to defeat the Kohozuna, when it shows up, you will gain 1200 experience points since the Kohozuna does count as an extra wave. And for once, it looks like procrastinating pays off. I was supposed to finish this video before Splatfest, but I'm still editing it during Splatfest, and I noticed that during Splatfest you get a 20% boost to your catalog level. I do have to say this only works during Turf War and not at all during Salmon, but if you do want to level up your catalog, Splatfest is the best time to do so. I also have to mention that you will get a 7,500 bonus experience points towards your catalog level for the first win of the day. This bonus can be received from either Turf, Anarchy, or Salmon Run, but you only get one of these rewards for your first win in one of those categories. So the game does give you a ton of EXP towards your catalog for just one win, your first win of the day, which for some reason starts at 8 PM EST, and that's when I end my day, not when I started. Now is the time for the most important question. What is the most efficient way to gain experience? To figure this out, I estimated the average amount of points scored when winning or losing in Anarchy battles, then used all of the formulas from before to calculate how much experience points you'd expect to earn from 20 games of Turf War, Anarchy, and Salmon Run based on different win-loss ratios. And since each mode takes a different amount of time to play, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and 7 minutes respectively, I also calculated how much experience you can expect to earn per minute of gameplay. Overall, Salmon Run was the worst method for experience farming. It only works for catalog levels, and even then, you're only getting about 85 experience points per minute of gameplay, if you're clearing wave 3 50% of the time. To fill up the catalog from 1 to 100, you'd have to play about 1400 Salmon Runs, which is roughly 164 hours of pure gameplay, no loading or queue times included. If you for some reason decided to level up your catalog purely from Salmon Run, it is doable, but not at all advisable. I'm not here to tell you how to play your game, so if that's what you want to do, go for it, Chief. At the very least, you'll make Mr. Gwiz somewhat happy. Anarchy is the second best method to farm experience, since it gives you EXP for all three things with an average of 300 experience points per minute of gameplay for a 50% win rate. To max out the catalog from level 1 to 100, you need to play about 633 Anarchy matches, which should take you about 53 hours, no loading or queue times included. This is why a bunch of the competitive people have already completed their catalog. It also looks like you can keep leveling up the catalog past 100 to get a mystery box of goodies for every 10 levels, so you aren't missing much if you don't go past the 100, but it's just a little something to reward those who play the game a ton. Thank you Random and Madness on Twitter for helping me out for this bit. And finally, for the most time efficient way to farm experience, it's through Turf Wars. Just like with money, you can expect to get about 20% more experience per minute of gameplay of Turf War versus a minute played of Anarchy, and that's at a 50% win rate. You'd be getting about 360 experience points per minute of playing, and filling up the catalog would only take 863 matches, or about 44 hours of gameplay, loading queue times excluded. If you only have a short amount of time to play Splatoon 3 and want to get as many catalog levels as possible, Turf Wars are your best bet. You can also be using food or drink tickets during the catalog grind for extra money or experience for your personal level or clothing. Okay, technically the #1 best way to farm for experience is during Splatfest with friends friends because you can double dip in all the possible dipping sauces. You got the EXP for your catalog, you got your friend giving you EXP for your level, and then you get yourself with the gear drinks, getting EXP for your gear. So technically, best time to gain experience during Splatfest, but that's also Turf Wars, and that's for only like 2 days a month, every month, so it might not be relevant for everyone. So I'm just gonna say Turf War, and Splatfest is Turf Wars as well, so take it with a grain of salt. And lastly, remember that there are 7,500 catalog experience points for the first win of the day. So even if you don't have a lot of time to play the game, getting 2 to 3 matches in per day should be enough to give you 1 catalog level, which is kinda nice since that means that even if you only play online for 15 to 20 minutes a day or only do Salmon run, you can still get 82 catalog levels by the time the reset happens. Well, it's 82 days for the first catalog, not sure how long the future ones will be. Either way, if you're playing a little bit every day, most of you should be able to reach catalog level 100 before it ends with ease. No need to grind all day long, just play a little bit a day and you'll be good. On the other hand, if you are in a rush, go play Turf War. Turf War is your friend, Turf War gives you the most points per minute. Do it now, you can get it, I believe in you. If this video helped you out and you'd like to see more of these kinds of well-researched guides, please consider subscribing. Also, do let me know what other things you'd like to see a guide on in the comments below. I am more than happy to go commit more science so I can help keep the Splatoon 3 community well informed on how this game works. Thanks for watching, I hope this helped, and I'll see you around with some retro shades, eventually. Thank you, Splatfest.